Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I am good. Happy rainy Saturday.
Yes, yes, it is. I went out hiking in the rain today.
Oh, I'm
So,
jealous. I've been cleaning.
yeah, I can't let the rain stop me from going out. Especially my dog. My dog's like, "Nope, we're going out. We're going out."
Nice. Nice. I have three. I can't drag them all with me yet. So
Oh,
they're very not leash trained whatsoever. All right. So today I thought that we would talk about the key principles for We the People Party. We've been talking a lot of different things about, what we believe in and all of that. So I thought today would be a good time to kind of jump into that and talk about, how we're action focused and not about ideology focused. We're not really interested in left right politics because I think that's what has caused the most damage today is everybody fighting each other with left and right
yeah.
when most of us are probably in the center more than anything.
Well, when you look at the left and right political spectrum, Republicans and Democrats, most of them agree on a lot of things. They agree on executive session meetings, which is anti-transparency. They like doing things behind closed doors.
Right.
They like having votes behind closed doors. They don't like public records requests. We're recalling a Republican county commissioner here locally because of that, because of all the actions that they've been taking behind closed doors. They shouldn't be doing an hour-long, 2-hour-long executive session every single meeting and then coming out of that executive session and then voting on issues and hiding what they're
Right.
voting on. And we've been able to find lots of corruption through records requests, and all of this is coming to light. So that's something Republicans and Democrats across the board seem to have in common, is they are anti-transparency, which
Yes.
transparency and integrity is number 2 on the We the People platform. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, we have to have it. I mean, the Republicans go in there saying the Democrats are doing this, and the Democrats go in there saying the Republicans are doing this, and I think that the division makes it so that nobody sees what they're doing together, right? They
Yep.
have a bill right now that they're putting through on, like cryptocurrency, and all that's going to do is lead to more control over our daily lives
Yep.
because then they'll be able to control what we spend, how we spend it. And, we saw that with what's that platform that you could do donations on? And they took all their money in Canada. The
GoFundMe.
truckers. Yeah, the GoFundMe. It's that kind of thing. And, people don't realize that that's Democrats and Republicans together. That is not actually a bipartisan issue. They want the control over us together. And
Yep.
so this is breaking free of all of that, left, right. We just want to know what's happening so that we can figure out how to fix some of this stuff.
Yeah, well, so another example of anti-transparency are the large bills that are getting passed just
Yeah.
recently with the spending bill, and they hide things in there, and one uh, platform plank that we have is to split up all of the spending bills and all of the other issue bills, make it all separate. So instead of voting on one 1,500-page piece of legislation that covers 1,500 different topics, or funding SNAP and then funding Obamacare and then funding the Department of Defense and then funding this and then funding that, and then they're voting on all of it at the same time, causing gridlock, right? Because if one side doesn't want a little tiny piece of that bill, they're going
Yep.
to hold out. So everything should be separate. Everything should be completely open and transparent and separate. And that's one solution that we have that could benefit all of America. And it's
Right.
not just the federal government, because state legislatures do it, city councils do it, county commission, they do it, right? They include all of these individual spending bills in this one huge bill.
Right. And if the bills are good, they can stand on their own and get passed. There's no
Yep.
reason why it has to be. And this is how they hide things. This is how they hide everything that they're doing with, that hemp thing that's going on in the CBD.
Yep.
And that's all hidden in there, because who has time to read? I've always heard that they don't even take the time to read the whole damn thing. You know,
No.
they don't. They get the highlights from one of their minions, and
Yeah,
you know,
it's humanly impossible. The cool thing about AI, which there are some advantages, is you can throw that bill into AI and say, give me every single key point that's in there,
right.
and it gets broken down, right? So our top platform plank is restoring democracy and accountability, and there's two subplanks to that. One is ending corporate influence. So just splitting up the bills themselves into each individual spending item will do that. Will help
Yeah.
to end corporate influence, because right now corporations are using these giant bills to hide their spending, their grants, the kickbacks that they're getting. Let's use that hemp provision, for example, destroying the entire hemp industry. Well, big alcohol was the one that sponsored that. And, you look at, what's that guy's name? Mitch McConnell, right? And he received $900,000 in donations from big alcohol. And he was the one that put that hemp provision in.
Right.
That wouldn't exist if everything was split up.
I'm sure it doesn't have anything to do with the money that he got from them.
Oh, probably not. Not at all. No way.
That wouldn't be realistic, right? To think that.
Yeah. So by implementing stricter campaign finance reforms and transparency measures, we aim to ensure that elected officials prioritize the needs of their constituents over corporate donors, right? So that's part of it. And then revitalize civic engagement. We will promote policies that encourage greater public participation in the political process, making it easier for citizens to voice their opinions and hold their representatives accountable. Now that sounds good, right? That sounds like a good thing, but how do we do that? And we do that by allowing the citizens to vote on these bills. Like there's a city, Burnsville, Minnesota, where I believe they take 40% of the budget and the citizens are allowed to vote on where the 40% goes and how it's being spent in their communities, right? So that would be one way to allow that to happen. We need more of a direct democracy where we can use blockchain and other voting systems to go in and allow the citizens to have a say.
Right.
Because right now we don't. And this whole representative democracy, it's basically an oligarchy with an extra step.
Right.
That's what it is. You got a small group of people controlling everything. You look at the counties, small counties in Washington State, we have 3 county commissioners. Larger counties, 5 county commissioners.
Right.
That's it. So you've got 3 county commissioners. It's really just 2. You get 2 people elected into the county commission, and you could do a whole lot of good or a whole lot of bad. And we're seeing more of the latter than the former, unfortunately. But that's exciting for us, because if we were able to, for example, here, when I run for county commissioner in Pacific County, we've got a couple other people. One lady is running in 2026. Now she's running as a Republican, but she's for transparency and accountability and a balanced budget and all these things. And if she gets elected and then I get elected, we would be able to do a whole lot of good here locally.
And then how do we hold you accountable, right? So, that's what's different with We the People, is that our members are the ones who make the decisions for their area. So whatever the group decides, all of the members in their area get to be the ones who decide what's important and what's happening, so I know water issues are down there, and, that's something that's probably really important. All of these things, and taxes and whatnot. And so when we get elected, then we are going to hold our people to a higher standard, so that they release as much as possible with, and are completely transparent about the budget, as much as you are legally able to do, right?
So legally they could issue out a line item budget, but they choose not to. They choose to hide it and have these 1 or 2 page budgets that just kind of outline a little bit. Oh, public safety, here's this number. Right. Education, here's this number. But it doesn't actually give the details on what what is being used for, right? So here locally, there's a bunch of money to the tune of like $600,000 going to an organization called Pacific County Voices United, which is basically a Democrat like activist organization where the executive director is also a city council member getting paid a full-time salary, and they have multiple employees, and then they organize all this community stuff to help get Democrats elected. And that you like, and these people are getting paid full-time salaries to do this from the county. But in the line item is underneath community service, public safety community service. Like you can't even see it. You don't even know. We had to do a FOIA request to find out how much money was actually going into this one organization. And then there's multiple organizations like that.
Right. And we, the people candidates and the ones that get, you know, when you're elected, then we can release all of it. We don't
Correct.
have to keep it a secret. And we make it part of our platform so that people are required to release those things and release as much information as you possibly can so that people know what's actually happening. And that's where we're different, right? We want the citizens to see what's going on, because the only way that you're going to get reelected from We the People is because you are doing what the people want, right? Getting people out as a Democrat or Republican is nearly impossible. And not to mention, they're almost grandfathered in, you know, one leaves and then their kid shows up, you know, and because everybody knows the name, or they're uncontested. And so they just stay in there for decades and get these paychecks and aren't actually doing anything to benefit us. You know, you're never going to, you know, we can control the incomes that they make and all of those things and make changes so that it benefits us as citizens instead of, you know, racking in. You shouldn't be going into politics to become a millionaire. You should be going into politics because you give a shit.
Correct. And and a lot of times at the local level, it might not even be a millionaire. It might just be making an extra 100,000 a year, right? It might be a smaller amount, but these people are getting kickbacks and full-time salaries for going out there and being political activists in the community from the government, right? And you know, we here locally, we have a lot of retired people. It's a retirement community and a vacation community, and a lot of these people can't afford the tax increases that are continuing to come down every single year. And the county commission is just rubber stamping every ordinance coming out of Olympia. They're being told what to do. They have a meeting every single year. The executives of the county, of all the different counties around Washington state, they have a single meeting where they all fly into or drive into, and they get told the agenda of that year of what they need to pass at their county at the local level. And it's always incremental infringements on our rights, on our property rights, on our health rights, especially Washington state. They're doing that big time right now, infringing on our health freedom, right, with the West Coast Health Alliance. So they're being told what to do, and then they're doing it at the local level. Like, and this meeting isn't publicized that they're going to and being told what to do. No one has any idea of what's happening in there besides the ones in attendance.
Right.
So it's all corrupt, and it's all a scam, and we're the ones that are being used and abused in the process.
Right. Right. So we do have a plan to fix it. That's what's exciting about it.
Absolutely.
I think once we get people into office and they see what we're really doing, and, you know, we just need people to start stepping up who want to run for office and, you know, be part of the change. So I think, and go ahead. Sorry. Oh, no, I think once people see it work, you know, and see the outcomes, I think it'll be an absolute no-brainer for people, and we will be flooded with candidates and members.
Yeah, you know, when you think about running for office, you think about the pressure of actually winning, right? And I don't want candidates to have that. I don't want people to think, oh, well, if I run for office, there's going to be a ton of pressure that I have to win. No, the pressure is just to say things that people need to hear. You know, that's how we make an impact. We have to educate people on what the government should look like, whether we win or not win as much. And I've coached hundreds of candidates over the years, right? And I've helped a handful win their election, and I helped a whole lot of them lose with dignity. And the lose with dignity part just means that they were able to go out and speak from the heart and communicate ideas to their neighbors, right? To the people that mattered in their community. And now maybe, they didn't win the election, but at least they felt good after the election was over that they did the right thing.
Right.
And that's what's important.
Well, and I think it's important to mention to people as well that you're not alone. It's not like come be part of us and run for office and good luck. We're here to fully support you, and that means that we will help with your website. We will train you. We will help you figure out how to file and the cost and all of these things. Because honestly, the cost is generally pretty minimal, right? I've seen $100 and $60 to run for offices. So the cost is very minimal, and you have our full support. You training, anything that you need, we're here for it because we want to see it work. So it's not a fly by the seat of your pants on your own thing.
Yeah, so the cost is very minimal for a lot of these seats. Like it's literally a few $100s, and we're going to do everything we can to raise money. If you're watching this, if you can contribute on a monthly basis, $5, $10, $20, whatever you can do, that's going to help us. Right now, our main focus is growing our social media presence. So we're, investing $5 a day in Facebook ads, which we're almost to over 500 people in just a few months that are paying attention to what we're doing.
I started a new ad last night, and we've gained 25 people just since last night, so
awesome.
This is something people want and that they're excited about. And I mean, our growth proves that, I mean, since the end of October, we've gained about 400 people, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. We're probably the fastest growing, third party in Washington State, if not the fastest growing third party in Washington State.
And then Levi is going to come on Wednesday. I have Levi scheduled to come on Wednesday. He's the national chair, and he's going to come on and talk to us about things that are happening across the country, because we do have quite a few states that are in the process. If you have friends and family in other states, this is absolutely something that they can also be a part of. Especially, New York has amazing things happening, and Larry Sharpe is running not just under a Libertarian, but he's running under the We the People platform as well. And so, that's going to give us a lot of growth there, because people are going to be able to hear about us from Larry Sharpe. And if you haven't looked at Larry Sharpe, check him out, man. I love listening to him talk and his ideas. He's got some good stuff.
Yeah, so I would just check the Cascade Party of Washington's page, and that's Chris Novoselic's third party, and they've been around for a few years, and they only have 23 likes on Facebook. They're posting consistently, but it just isn't. They're just not getting any momentum.
Right.
So
Yeah. So we're definitely, because we're gonna flip it upside down. Flip everything on its head and do what people actually want and what we think the government is supposed to be doing for us, right? And we're going to actually make it happen.
Yep.
So is there anything else in the platform that we missed?
There's a ton.
Well, I know that there's a ton, but I mean like big stuff,
Yeah, so the nonpartisan problem solving, right? So dedicated to working across political divides to address the issues that affect all Americans, right? We're going to focus on collaboration and the things that most people will agree with, right? Transparency, accountability, ending corporate subsidies. Like these are all things that most people, you talk to your neighbors, they're going to agree with it, regardless if they're Republicans or Democrats or independents or whatever, right? They're going to agree with that. Who wouldn't want the government to be more transparent?
Right. Lower taxes, or, know where our tax money's going. That's, that would be nice. It would be interesting to see if here's what I'm really interested in is the, I cannot remember her name, but the one up in Seattle who just won for mayor. I'm hoping that she gets in there and realizes that some of the things that she wants to do are just flat out unrealistic, you know, but
Yeah.
that she gets in there and sees the problems. And maybe because she is such an outsider, that she will actually bring some of these things up and bring up the issues with the taxes and where is all the money going. And that's my hope. I'm hoping that she's such an outsider that she'll be able to bring light to some of the tax issues up there and
Yep.
see that what she wants to do doesn't make sense either. But I'm not going to hold my breath for that one. But hopefully, because if we have people, I mean, clearly people want something different, right? And she gave
Mhm.
people hope. So
Yep, absolutely. We have a lot to do. We have a lot of room to catch up, but I think with our goal of reaching major party status, there's a lot of background noise. I can't.
yeah, sorry, hold on.
It's okay. Yeah, so the goal of hitting major party status is something that we're really going to focus on. And the way we're going to do that is by running a presidential candidate in 2028. Now, we don't know who that's going to be. We want to find two candidates, president and vice president, that's going to be, big names across the country that we can put on our ballot. And then we're going to support them by having a bunch of down ballot candidates. So I saw that someone just filled out the form today to run for office, and we've got a couple more people that are interested. So hopefully, my plan is to get a lot of the higher ticket slots filled up, just to get that visibility, right? So the chances that we're going to win a governor's race or lieutenant governor or school superintendent is going to be slim. However, we have a lot bigger chance of being able to gain visibility through that. And then at the same time running local candidates, on off years, to get those wins at the local level. So
right. Well, and anything, if people like what we're putting out there, hopefully they will put that on the people that do get elected, right? And that's the whole point. Once we bring up the issues that we want to see dealt with, then it's going to force the other ones that do get elected to listen to us while they're in office, and people will demand that they actually do what they say that they're going to do.
Absolutely. So if you're considering running for office, or you want to help support our efforts with a monetary donation or by volunteering, you can go to WTPWA.com. That's WTPWA.com. You can find the full platform on there, the form to run for office. You can donate, all that good stuff. We will be working on making the website better, but in the meantime, it works. So it's functioning.
Yeah. I will add the links down here also to join our newsletter and email list so that you keep up to date with everything. I just sent out the newsletter for November today. So I'll put all those links in the comment section here as well, so that people can get to that.
Yes. And also at the same time, we have group Zoom meetings at the last Thursday of every month, where we come on, we chat, we introduce ourselves, we talk to each other. And Tony has started doing in-person events as well. So I've yet to make one, but she's made two of them. And she's looking to have one out here on the Long Beach Peninsula. So I'm excited to get that going too. But if you have something going in your areas and start, we're going to be testing out advertising and promoting for the local events. So I want to start out here on the Long Beach Peninsula with an ad running for the next event that we put together and see if it works. So,
yeah, I agree. And then I think January I'll probably stick around home and do Tacoma Puyallup area.
Cool.
So that we can get people. And, I've been talking to people about running for office, and everybody I've talked to say, oh, I've thought about it. I've thought about it, but I don't know, because you think that you have to be a career politician, right? We see all of these people and we assume that you have to have all this background to be able to do this. And you don't. It's everyday people like us that are actually going to make the difference. We don't want career politicians necessarily, right? who, you know, who have been here, done this. We want new blood in here to make change. So don't
Yeah,
worry
so
if you don't have the experience. That's not the important part. The passion and wanting to see actual change and transparency and commit to the things that we believe in is what is important.
yeah, so there's some minimum effort that has to be done if you do decide to run for office, and I'd like to talk about that so people can understand what's the minimum effort that they have to do. So the first thing is website, and we are going to build a template website that has all of the issues that we can duplicate for you. Okay, so you'll have a website, whatever office you decide to run for, you'll be able to go on there and edit the platform and modify things to fit your personality and who you are, right? So that's one thing, minimum, is website. The second thing is a voter statement. So you're going to have to give a voter statement so you can get, you know, in the little booklet that goes out to everyone, you know, every year, your information will be there. You saw how many candidates were running that didn't even have that. They didn't submit a picture. They didn't submit a voter statement. So that is a minimum, the voter statement with the website that people can go back to. And then the third and final thing is if a news organization or a newspaper or someone emails you asking for an interview or asking questions or asking you to fill out a questionnaire, you have to respond. Because you can't. So I have seen so many times, like in a article in the paper, like, oh, so and so didn't respond to questions, you know, and the other one did, and guess who won? The one that was responding to people, right? So those are the three things that you have to do. Website, which we'll help with. The second thing is voter statement submitted to your county elections department, and the third one is respond to interview requests or questions that come in, and we can help you with that. I've coached hundreds of candidates on giving, you know, interviews and, you know, answering questions and things like that. So it's not difficult stuff. And how I want you to frame it is that you are going to learn some new skills along the way, right, Tony?
Yep. Oh, yes. Many, many new skills.
So, Tony, let me ask you a question. How many times have you been a state chair of a political party before this?
Zero.
Zero
Absolutely
times.
no times. I've always loved politics. I've always thought I might do something in it.
Yep.
Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that I would be called the state chair of anything. So, yeah.
So it's been fun because, you know, you have done something amazing in that you are willing to learn new skills rapidly. You are willing to just figure this out and keep moving, right?
Yeah.
What needs to get learned? What do I have to do? What do I need to set up? What forms do I have to file? You're just like boom, 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 figuring it out as you go.
Yep.
So if you have that mindset, if you're watching this and you have that mindset, you know what? I want to learn some new skills and I want to make a positive impact in my community. Here we go. Because everyone in our group is super supportive and willing to help and willing to be encouraging, right? And sometimes that's all you need is the encouragement through the process. So
that's what gets me through. Good job, Tony. You figured that out.
my random daily phone calls.
Right. Yeah. It has definitely been an uphill battle. Everything that I've had to do, you know, when's the last time that a brand new anything has been tried in politics, you know? So trying to learn how to set up a party in general and everything that's gone along with that has just been incredible. And I am so grateful for the experience because it's been an absolute blast. And to see it growing at the rate that it's growing has been just so much fun to talk to people and know that people are excited and that they want to see more. So,
yep, absolutely. So if you could make the Zoom call the last Thursday of the month. Yeah, put the link, but go to our website and join us. Fill out the form, one of the forms on there, right? So you could join now, pledge to fight corruption. Is that it? Or is it somewhere else on the website, the newsletter?
You know, It's a little bit confusing. I think honestly, no pressure, but if you just go, I think the candidate page might be the easiest page. I need to get on the website. That's on my to-do list of learning topics, is how to use the website stuff and add a page so that we can add the Zoom and add all of our events and have an events page, sign up for emails. But honestly, if you just want to, you can send us a message in chat as well, and just send me your information. I'll make sure that you get added, or I can, if you send me your email, I can at least send you the link then to be able to sign up, but I will make sure that it's in the comments.
Awesome.
My
All right,
list
Tony.
of things to learn are extensive. So, oh,
That's
sorry.
your grandson? No,
That's
you're good.
my grandson.
What's up, buddy?
Hi.
Hi.
So anyway, all right. I
Awesome.
guess I'm on duty. So
Well, it was great seeing you, Tony, and then we'll see you tomorrow.
yep. Thanks. Have a great afternoon.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.